da honom na wodi ahya daka fabra ne mfanya adwuma na yempesi kama na so fadi di kakra wate Eclipse collateral management na kasa o se fabra ne yenya adwuma musa muhia collateral na mode aye adwuma mode akoji eye bese na mode asem adwuma na etimi expand no money Eclipse collateral management funding komo na ombetimi aboa o ombeboa pa Arinto no from 1054 383 2466 054 383 2466 Now no mundi nkomo omo wo eye adenta barrier omo ben Mary Moses Hospital now no mundi nkomo na say West African SHS wo no ho man omo wo now no mundi nkomo Eclipse collateral management for ehun nkomo na minu die Sasson make a choice sound 23 and easy buy. Some in cancha say phone to I na ebibia wo ho phone so de hu hia pa sisi eno emu AI ne dia kan nyina adenti no yesu so kwakoto phone me boa o si jai kra sika na wodi ato ho no fa sika ne bre no as low as 300 Ghana cedis on sabeka eye phone Mena make a show as low as 300 Ghana cedis fabe to honum netu adak dia kan kakra won sabeka eye phone papa say your iPhone Samsung Tecno say your Infinix say your Itel me pa show Sam 23 and easy buy some can show say brand new komo umpewe na perien say wutia eye phone ka 10 Ghana cedis a day and also say wutia no eye na watchia na bosome umpewe na perien say afeba ko bosumi nsia and as a bosume miensa what the fabra now only a Sam 23 and easy buy phone din come on na je phone na call or Samsung ton TVs and face microwaves nigina e wo a Sam 23 and easy buy omo office no ebi wa hefa e wo eye oba ebony circle onsa ebe kan omo ebony heya circle heya and I say La Paz Kaneshi Trotro Station onsa be kan omo and as I said, Pokwase taxi rank on Sabe come on from on 0244 711 873 and as I said 0248 292763 on Sabe come on as you go for an face so groups associations amuhia phones do the ama association members no money Sam 23 and easy buy encoding come on be show me bibia timi akoyi ma Sasson I make out just a cheap Oberhem me out say cheap man I me say men ko baby matu kunu mi do TV masa ukatesa wo enti enko cheap ne enko pimpam ye entire no say your funeral say your office wear say your party say your church they don't hear bia yenko ye chepam ne yenko je isan say chepam the best of the best ye chepam or see your custom tailoring or Awoshi market honumwa 020 683 7738 now no ending come on we say chepam to say them bia otimu say bibia koye ma there's a sighting to wear chepam nice one chepam get us say 43 minutes past the hour of 7 meeting at the Omanso for Kojo Preko Dankwah. Yatna say to 9:40 near the Jumedio no abawie ye o hwe me wo Kessben TV a me ma wachen e ma wakwaba eba eye Kessben TV so on the STV is channel 364 and our face so no OTM e wo radio so eye 92.9 and as I say e wo Go TV so eye channel 121 on sa ebe kan e wo hono on Facebook eye Kessben TV and I say Kessben 92.9 on sa ebe kame e wo hono na fe ye ni nkomode anwe o man no ho o WhatsApp messages and I so text messages nyina so no making kind ni nyina ma me hwe de ekone de ben nyina de be bia no me edit e straight to the point na making kind ni nyina amount ye ni nkomana fe yen hyase emfi eye de course enra committee omampanyi eseti ya na se constitution eseti ye se enhwe na entumi enhwehwe niememu efa eye ye mame justice tokono meka justice Gertrude Araba Isabasaki tokonu ne issue na ebeto dwano per article 146 ayehye omampanyi ene omamaka nyina se yenye bibisa because petitions bi aba no ne nyina etu atwa ne tintini titia ne se omampanyi se asem no de esia na esie mame eye Gertrude eraba esaba saki tokonu onfa n'adwuma ento ho na onkotena baabi na ontwa n'adwuma so pese oye eno na ba beto dwa sisia ba ne ye bedi nkomo ye ne liars titi wofo bedi nkomo na afi ya hwe de ekọ ene de eba omo nkyere ase na afi hu de ekọ ne de eba na lawyer bedema ewo my line no so madam fu yepa ye no endi nkomo law lecturer CAF University na ye no endi nkomo eba sei sa na omo an ye be komo ne no medi nkomo no ma kyerɛkyerɛ niema na yesua de ehu de ekọ lawyer, good morning and welcome to essbenMaakye.
Good morning, my good friend Kojo. How are you?
I'm okay, and how are you doing?
The Lord is good to us. I am very fine.
Amen. Now I think I have to start greeting you in tree so you can then learn it faster. Bibia boko there.
Nyankupa do me hu ye pa na wo do e.
Eradia don bibia aye fine. I think the tree you're doing well with the tree now.
Yes. I'm coming up small.
We thank God. Now, lawyer, when you hear this, and I read, now therefore, know ye all men that I, John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, in pursuance of the said Article 146(9), do hereby remove the said Chief Justice Gertrude Eraba Isaba Saki Tokonu from the office of Chief Justice and Justice of the Supreme Court with effect from the day hereof. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand caused the presidential seal to be affixed at Accra this 1st of September 2025. When you hear this, what comes into play?
Straightforward, I go back to my law class, and it resonates with what we write at the law school. The president sought to write like one of us in the law school, hearing, and all those kind of words they are, the kind of technical words that are used over there. But then again, I think that because he was acting on the dictate of the Constitution, that gives him that power. So he was trying to exercise the powers that the Constitution has given him. That is why he has used those words. So it is just, it's nice to see how he caught the whole thing, and that he is also, as it were, trying to use the powers that are conferred on him by the Constitution. One thing that can be seen is that, of course, as people of Ghana, we need to be, as it were, to be proud of ourselves, because we have accepted the Constitution for ourselves, and that Constitution seems to be followed by all and sundry, and that the president has again exercised his powers given to him by the Constitution.
Lawyer, when I was reading, one thing that really came to notice is the removal as Chief Justice and Justice of the Supreme Court. One want to ask, if taking Justice Tokono up from the bench, is it first off powers from the president that can do that, something that she has worked for? I mean, she is, a lawyer, probably a judge, and then we are combining the two as Chief Justice and then taking her from the bench.
Leverage to become the justices, the CJ.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So if you are disqualified again, and it's as a result of stated misbehavior, and again for you to be given the appointment as the justices of the Superior Court, you must be a person of high moral character and turpitude. and that you are of sound mind and those kind of stuff. So again, we have to look at the qualifications of a person to become justice of the Superior Court and see whether being held to have misconducted yourself, you could still be qualified to be the justice of the Superior Court, and that is the government of the whole matter. And I think for me, in my own thinking, I don't think that somebody who has been removed as a result of stated misbehavior as the Chief Justice of the Republic should be allowed to continue as the Justice of the Superior Court of Judicature. And again, we must be very careful, because aside even this constitutional lens I am trying to look at this from, we need also to look at it from where do you think that somebody who has become the head of the judiciary, who was leading the judiciary, now being removed in this manner, even if it is allowed that she should continue to be the justice of the Superior Court, she may have that ground, or that, let's say, the ground to stand there to be the justice of the Superior Court. And again, I think that person may not be. Aside the fact that once you are being removed as the CJ, you may not be qualified to be the justice of the Superior Court. I think, again, morally to that, she may not have that power or that courage, or, so to say, to continue to be the justice of the Superior Court.
Let me ask you this. Many people have said, from the law point of view, that they had felt or expected the Chief Justice Tokonu to had resigned. I mean, before this thing came in. Do you share the same thing?
I think to some extent, yes. I shared, and I even mentioned some time ago on this your August show that I thought that maybe the advisors could have done her better by maybe asking her to stop all the courts running here and there for those cases at court, because I thought again that if it's going to the ECOWAS court and those kind of stuff, it's a way of saying that our judicial system is not up. And if the judicial system is not up and you are running even outside Ghana, the question is, what were you leading? She was the head of the judiciary. And now you are now the head of judiciary, and they are taking judicial process against you, and you are now running to other parts of the world for adjudication. The question is, does it mean that the judicial system of which you were the head was not working? Right? And that is, is it not working? Because if it was working and people who come to you get justice as is demanded or is to be done, then you ought to have also received same justice when you have problems. So to the extent that she has to run, yes, someone will also say that is her right. She has the right to go to those places. But frankly speaking, for me, yes, she was exercising her right, but the right she was exercising were also exposing the weakness in our judicial system.
Okay.
Because this is a woman who was the head of the judicial system. The judicial system of which you were the head, you are now running away from it. So it is only going or telling us that maybe the judicial system of which you are the head is not working well. And that is why you are seeking remedies from other ports or avenues which are outside your jurisdiction. So a lot of things have happened for which I think that maybe the advisors might have done better in that regard.
Well, I have heard former Attorney General Ayuko to say evidence of wrongdoing to justify her dismissal is not there. I have heard the issue between policy and the law. Now, let's deal with the policy and the law. the policy, I mean, as in the judiciary, in terms of traveling and all those things, versus the law. Because when you watch what the committee submitted, they keep saying that whatever happened cannot be justified in law or policy. But here is the case: a former attorney general is saying that it is the policy by the judiciary that was used by the Chief Justice in terms of traveling, in terms of per diems and all that. I mean, the contradiction there. Which one do we stand for?
We go for the law.
We go for the law and not the policy.
The policies are just to guide the conduct of maybe a particular organization.
Yes.
But aside that one, there are laws that supersede the policies. The laws of this country supersede any other. Whatever policy that we have must be in consonance with the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the country. So if there is a law which is inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution, then that law ought not to be in our good books. So the first question we have to ask ourselves is, what are those? And if I listened to him very well, he mentioned one thing which is in line with the Constitution, which is the fact that the judiciary, when it comes to their financial matters, are independent. That is correct. But the question again we need to ask ourselves is that independence sacrosanct? You cannot seek to ask any question regarding how the monies are being spent. Nobody can look at it, even the president, or even it's like my question is, if there is misappropriation of funds, does it mean because they are independent, they should allow them to do whatever they are going to do? Again, we have something we call the discretionary powers, which is also grounded in law. But even those discretionary powers are supposed to be exercised within the dictate of order, the remit of the law. So nothing is left without check and balances. And the Constitution has been made in such a way that at any point in time, there are checks and balances. And for me, again, I think that because we do not practice pure separation of powers, these checks and balances are there to curtail the abuse of these powers that are conferred on individuals who occupy those positions. Right? Again, another thing that I have seen to be a bit problematic is the wording in Article 146, Clause 1.
Okay.
Where some of the words there have not been given judicial interpretation. And the framers of the Constitution could not affect their mind to have defined those words.
Okay.
For me, which it has left the Constitution too vague, or the provisions of Article 146, Clause 1, very vague, because we don't know what amount to gross misconduct for which a Chief Justice or Justice of the Superior Court could be removed. And leaving it that way is not enough. So as a people and as a Constitution that is capable of growth, we need to also adjust. We need to amend those provisions to reflect the right thing, so that we don't leave the Constitution to speculations. Because now most of us are just speculation as what ought to have been, what to be the ground for the removal. Because they only stated there that it must be a misconduct, and what amount to that misconduct we don't know.
Exactly, lawyer, and that leads me to the other question that I wanted to ask, and that is exactly where you've gone to. Because if you've been able to identify that space, then it tells you that subsequent governments, I mean, until that article you quoted, 1461, is something is done about it, then the perception is that any other government that comes in, and I'm not comfortable with the said Chief Justice appointed, what it means is that I can institute and then go through the same process, come up with a certain misbehavior, and then I can use 146, set up the committees, and then I remove him or her from there.
And that is why, I think that the president, when the NDC government came to, or I think they have commissioned the constitutional amendment or review committee.
Yes.
So I think that committee needs to be very fast with coming out with the sort of amendment that needed to be done to the constitution. The only unfortunate thing for me is that before that will be done, she might have already suffered it because this is the law as it stands now. But I think going forward as people and having known some of these discrepancies in the law, we need to look at them and then amend them to reflect the state of the law. Because otherwise, for me, again, as constitution as it is of course a sacred document, a sacred testimonial document that needs to be protected at all times, and so it should not leave room for speculations.
Because I read somewhere another private legal practitioner saying that he sees it more political than law, and anyone who defends it is either complicit or ignorant.
It's unfortunate that I can't come on a platform like yours like this, and in my criticism of maybe a work done by a colleague, I will refer to that colleague as an ignorant person. That again, for me, I think that it is uncalled for a colleague to say other colleagues are ignorant of the law.
Okay.
We are all giving our fair views of how we see the law to be, and as any constitutional law class, no answer is actually wrong. No answer is actually wrong. And so if no answer is wrong, then no answer should supposed to come from what? An ignorant person. That is his perspective of the law. And so we can judge, but to label colleagues as ignorant, that is unfair comment. And I think it should not be coming out from learned people like ourselves. So it is most unfortunate because that is somebody's perspective, and that cannot be said to be ignorant. You can't say that. I can't come here so that, yes, I disagree with what he said, but I can also come and say that if he says so, then he is ignorant. No. That is not the way we have to go. We are brothers. We are, of course, we all sat in the same school. We are taught by the same people, and so to label your colleague as ignorant because he has seen a matter in a different perspective. So does it mean that all the people in the art committee are also ignorant? Is that what you sought to say?
Very interesting. Now, I want to come back to the policies again with regards to judicial service and all that. Now, Justice Tokono becomes the first. Chief Justice who have gone through this particular procedure to see her removed. It serves as a lesson. It's going to serve as knocking all the loopholes, like you really brought the Article 1461, which you said that it is too open. It is not really specific to certain things and all that. Now, Ayuko, to as in former Attorney General, also comes back to say that, for instance, the committee deliberately ignoring established policies. Now, would you want to see judicial service go back or look into the policies again to really shape it well in order for it not to be used against any other person again?
Well, that again, I have not had the benefit of reading that policy statement.
Okay.
And so I wouldn't be able to talk to it specifically. But if there is a need for a law to be amended to reflect the right things, why not? It can be done.
Okay.
The laws are made by human beings, and they are supposed to achieve certain goals at the end of the day. So at all points in time, the question we ask ourselves is whether those goals are being achieved. Now, if they are not being achieved, then what do we do in order to achieve those goals? So at any point in time, those are some of the questions that we ask ourselves, and we go by that by maybe amending. And that is why every law has that amendment clause in it, where at any point in time when they see that the law is no longer serving the purpose for which it has been made, then it can be amended in order to serve the purpose. Laws are not made in vacuum. They are actually made to solve certain problems. So if the law is not solving the problem for which it has been made, then it becomes absolute. And for that matter, that law needs to be changed.
Lawyer, are you seeing too much of political interference when it comes to the judiciary?
This is a very dicey question, of course, because we cannot separate totally judiciary or law from politics. But we need to tackle it with caution, because when it is too much seen to be politicized, then it will also go a long way to spoil the goodwill we have so far as a country of good governance, country that is practicing the law. Because again, politics to some extent has destroyed many societies. Politics is a good tool, but if it is not exercised well, can also destroy the society. So we have to be a bit careful when we are trying to maybe use the two. Yes, the two goes hand in hand, but we have to exercise restraint, patience, and restraint when we are dealing with them, in order not to ruin all the accolades that we have received so far from the international community.
Will this decision taken give the judiciary system of this country a different picture altogether by the international community? Do you see something like that?
I don't think so, because once it is by the dictate of our constitution, so be it.
Is it a fact that we as a country, we are setting some very dangerous precedent within the judiciary? I mean, the chances of other potential and competent judges who will become CJs, will they have would they be comfortable? I mean, in this situation, knowing very well that their colleague had gone through this?
No, I don't think that. I don't think that there should be any PD for anybody. Where it must be seen that maybe one thing is not done right. And so until then, all I felt we need to do as a country, as it stands now, is to look at some of those vague provisions of the Constitution and amend them, and that is good to go. Because the Constitution that makes way for the removal of the Chief Justice has also had mechanisms for the protection of the CJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Now, what do you make of this one before I let you go? One of the issues that was also raised was a breach of provisions in Article 295A and B of the Constitution, talking about a transfer she did, I mean, in a manner that was not good. One Mr. Baden as a staff of judicial service. I don't know whether you heard that one too, and what really the 295A and B says in the Constitution.
Well, we may have to. Do you have the Constitution with you?
Not at the moment, but I will let production get it for me.
Yes, so that we read the provisions
exactly.
of it, and then we can give correct interpretation of it.
Okay.
So
Okay. I get it.
Looking for my Constitution. Let me see.
So that we can really get it, because the committee also stated without fear or favor that the Chief Justice unjustifiably breached the provisions of Article 295A and B of the Constitution of 1992 in the way and manner that she transferred one Mr. Baden, a staff of the judicial service. That is one of the things that they said that it is amounted to also another misbehavior. I mean, from Justice Tokonu in the case that were determined by the committee. So indeed,
Has your production gotten the Constitution?
No, Richard is on, so maybe we might get it later on. But if you have also not gotten it, I think that all these ones are amounting to misbehavior. I mean, that's what they're saying. which for me.
And that is where I'm telling you that is the problem for me, because what actually is the misbehavior the Constitution contemplated, nobody knows. You see, so it's like everybody in his own definition will tell you what amount to misbehavior. Right. So, and the constitutions are not supposed to be in that way, where it will be so vague, and then it will be too vague, and you cannot be able to pinpoint what one at any particular point in time means. We need to just know exactly what one particular, at any particular time when you say something is like this, the constitution should define that, and so that there won't be any need for speculation. So as it stands now, we should have known directly what amounted to what misbehavior or stated misbehavior in the Constitution. But it has been left without the definition.
Wow, it's interesting, and I like the position you've made. I mean, in terms of putting too many things under misbehavior, and then we use that in making sure that a certain chief justice moves out and all that. Clearly, it's some way. For the nation as a whole, and if care is not taken, it becomes more or less like politics and subsequent governments are taking advantage in saying that, listen, when I come to power and then you are in there and I don't like you, I feel I don't like you, I move you. The same applies to electoral commission. We'll go through the same processes again. Somebody brings a petition and then you go through it and we are like, it is misbehavior. We just have to let the person go, and then we'll do that. Then the next 8 years, 4 years, we'll come back again, and then subsequent governments will also come, do or act on the same manner. And where will the country end if we go through all these processes?
Again, that is
very interesting.
That's very sensitive, and that is what I said earlier on, that the Constitutional Review Committee needs to up the game. It is only good that at this point we have such a committee that is looking at how the provisions of the Constitution needs to be updated, rectified, and amended in order to reflect the current positions. And so, yes, we have an opportunity. I don't think there is any call for alarm. There is opportunity that is giving all of us as constitutional students to actually also present our papers to the Constitutional Review Committee, so they can also incorporate it into whatever proposal that they will be bringing up. But again, I think the Constitution has lived its expectation. It has taken us from 1992 up to today. That is enough. So we cannot say that our Constitution is not good. I think this is a document that has actually helped us as people to live up to this end. And so at this point, if there are certain loopholes or lacunas, we just have to fill those lacunas in order for us to continue as a country.
Very well, very well. So, what will be the next thing? As government had gone through the process, President has done what they need for. What happens next to the judicial? What will be the next process?
No, so now as it stands, then we need a substantive Chief Justice. After she was suspended, one senior justice of the Supreme Court was named to be the acting Chief Justice. Now, we cannot have a forever acting Chief Justice, so it is time for us to also, as it were, look for the substantive Chief Justice. So I think that is the next process, and we take it from there. But again, let me also just mention this, that again, another lacuna of the law, if you look at the provisions of Article 146, is the fact that an administrative body seeks to be given final adjudication powers. Mm-hmm. The committee, the Constitution in Article 146 made it that whatever recommendation of the committee that was formed, then the president needs to act on it. And there is no other provision as to if somebody is aggrieved by whatever decision is made by the committee, how next or what next will be, what is the other remedy that will be available to any party. But that is again another problem with the Constitution, because it's like, we know that the Constitution has given the final adjudication powers to the judiciary. So it is the court that can bring finality to all matters in this country. But when it comes to the removal of the Chief Justice, they say that whatever recommendation of the committee, the President must act on it, and that is all.
Educators, so continue, sorry.
So as it stands now, I don't know if the Chief Justice is aggrieved what she should do. But again, for me, again, as a lawyer, I think what I can advise, if she feels at any point in time that something has been done unconstitutional, she can go under Article 2(1) and Article 130 of the 1992 Constitution in order for court to as it were, trash whatever decision has been taken by that committee. So the committee may not be final. We can go under 2(1) and Article 130 for that decision to be quashed. So it may not be too much a big deal.
Oh, okay, very well. Educators, well, so some of this is when as it happens, like we have now. Is there an opener? Is there a space for Chief Justice Tokono to come back to say, I want a redress of this, or it is over? I mean, there's nothing that can be done again.
Oh, there are provisions of the Constitution that she can, like I said, take advantage of. Okay. Article 2 and Article 130 are there. So she has other means of addressing issues pertaining to her removal.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I was just reading the Article 295, 2A and B, and I think it needs further explanation. Maybe we'll come back to it at a later date. But A says that a reference to a holder of an office by the term designating his office shall, unless the context otherwise requires, be construed as including a reference to a person for the time being lawfully acting or performing the functions of that office. And then B says references to the power to remove a public officer from his office shall be construed subject to clause 4 of this article as including references to a power conferred by any law to require or permit that officer to retire from the public service. I think it's referring to some other clauses which needs a deeper, reading and understanding on this. But basically that is what the Article 295 says here.
I think, Kojo, we can have another time where we will look at it. Sure.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm sure, sir, pretty soon we'll get back to you as the discussion moves on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much also for having me.
Medasipa. Lawyer Raymond Bedema, Calf University, or a lawyer, and you know AD and common lecturer. So I was here Calf University, and you know 18 common 18 minutes past the hour of 8 a.m. I was Kessben 92.9 and I face Kessben TV, and then on DSTV channel, channel 364, and I face on Go. Channel 121 and check na there is a guest take so bro but sina me kan na ne be call Akwatia na yakwa kodi nkomo yie pa ewo Akwatia voting no ahyase it is 8 into me sure say voting no ahyase amanfo eto omaba. But we'll go there and then give you all the analysis, reporters for all the videos and everything. Yedinina, ebe bro, Kessben 92.9 and so Kessben TV. So and then around 5:30 we'll come back again. Now for the Dakanina so amount when the results are also on and all that. I won't hit patch. Some men can show say what we hear a Niema and I said. Upesa ukumu pain no sabi munjai eye tablets ne fa tablets ne doso ho insusanso no edoso yie pa sa so ana mamu yusu eye hot water bottle me no ka say kra no wa fa eye hot water bottle a wo de ekum eye pain o muscle ana say arthritis ana say o menstrual cramps but ojai na yen kokrom na yen kope eye ahonka heat patch udu ha so pe ahonka heat patch obenya bi na no eye patch bi a Oto na wotia no na wuyi eye layer first one no eye white fita wuyi a obehu deep brownish color bi na fatare baby eye wo ya ne so say ye menstrual cramp say ye arthritis say ye muscle pain say ye dean fatare so wo de tare so a obetima ko nyuma so opese wo tena fie obetima tena fie opese wo ko baby opese wo ko bia na obetumi akọ de hia ne say wo de atare so na eye o pain no obete say heat bi efi patch nim ewura eye widiem na ekumpe no eno ena ye ahunka heat patch no papa eye very very scientific. I don't think yen tobi na yen use ne nyai eye pain tablet no eye fano ados do tablet no dos we body mu do. I don't think yen nyai obepe bi ato a obenya bi ewo eye Origin Chemist, Art Pharma, DM Sphere, Sap Health, afesu Kumase, Danny Pharma, Alpha Dio, and afesu Panacea Pharmacy, Kofredia, eye Gapson Pharmacy, Eastern Chemist, and afesu Tamale eye Malarigo Pharmacy, Takrade, eye Bwako Pharmacy, and afesu Knock Chemist. Most am open to do two number some way regional distributors, you know. Mon friend number way 0599 802297. And now says 0248 509003. And now says 0536 645 334. Ahunka heat patch or say feel heat no and I made the home and come at show no. Young caught na fe ye ne a best brain and open me catch or say as I say Oma eye awofo no mbede mi tumufo monko best brain na monko to books no ehun hia na mfama eye nkwada no mu nsua no madwemu MBA na omomeye te say ye no mombro kra ye so isane say ehun hia ye pa say ye ne beje say ye ma no ye nkwada de benya books say ye past questions say ye current ones betumi ede asua de no ye nko eye best brain publication na yeni omo enkodi enkomo na afi yenhwe ha ometumi aboa eye yenkwada no so na ometumi akọ omanim apanyi atena se if best brain publication ene no ni nkomo ye wia doc activated charcoal at the eye ziga stick ebebre na na frimpon ziga atena se nti wie pe na ede no so ahyehye so apanyi bibia bokọ de nice one obi ahun ye wo best brain nice one me de bia oba na masua de ba ko last week masua de yesua senisi home am I try how many times ye home 20,000 times ziga home a day yesua ni nyina na ye nim sisi ye hu enne ziga nkwa oti wo home 20,000 a day a day 20,000 na see a day and then who sa papa o nyina kan 24 hours in yes I mean very interesting and then a day na echo if you best brain for her sorry save that say it means that on kasan go mic ni ma say o home 19,991 na ba ko ba bi so wu because I was sorry no that you are gone no oxygen yes na asheshe bibia kama bio best brain akweswa na onyawe woni trimu tema it say ye nya de sa o nya manpower na and then na the FM na meche telefone ahefo na pen and ye ko career technology okay ye ko JSS on say di kan ye crèche ye baba ye KG ye ba ye primary no and dey ye ko JSS no okay career tech na no one say Ebeka karate no eye enkrabata horo na ya boa no ba ko on say e personal life skills your vocational skills your technical drawing and the name horo keka ho and ya de nyina ba be hye ambra ba ko ase and if say career technology and you on say na kane no ye personal akra onwie Jesus no wonye hwe kura na wa mo video timi e dey otimi doa otimi sua duane noa o school enti eno timi bua no ma onyini ko no na bua ma hu duane de duane noa pa tire bia ka say best brain book e danso na bua mofra ne ye e mo otimi enya fapem papa ene nana yenko ye be ye duane kakra ha e ka say duane kra ayeden na enema ahoro ben enso na e be ka say commodities no ai betime be ato market so enso e be eden and the best brain book e boabo from won say okay aduane a ade bia e di koyemu yenum koyemu e ma yenya enuane nuro a betime de aboa honam no on say na it was say e dey int me nyini o
entimi nyini man nyi eno nti enuane so ebedi so ehinuane papa leti abo ma honam so ayda enyini yie nti woche kama ayda e wo hase eno osine enuane na se commodities nuane ayeto market ebi kura ye de ehi nana wochira o sa kire bia mfa so be sa ayda enya fiso ena se ne bia ka se best brain book no e danso enam se okane ma ahoro a eben akora no na ma adana de aka abofra ntim and ye hwe commodities in the market a ye benya fish ho no akora be nim fish o sa akora be nim fish na wache no be bia ye nya fish so she dey efi ebi eye nsu akese ti say ye sea na eda hoyi ebi ye rivers no ebi ye lakes mu ene mi ahoro a nya fish si bi efi bia no wache e ma akora na hu ba bi nya fi ena hwan mu na koyi brayen yeti we betima koyi betima che fish no dey bi ye won ye wo dwuma sa fishermen no omna ye den koyi bre enti won se wa bobo from wo hunu eye aduane ye di na enso kwen fa so nya no wa ye den wa bo ma na de wo hu afi enti won se wa ye hu picture so ye den da kama ye den amaye afi the popular food Ghana obi ape banji de cassava be bia fie bia bi o adentia ifufo ndi ehun ye nkonya nti otre okwan a banji eboye ni pedua cassava no boye ni pedua no nnuanu enye frim kabodi ye bia nkonya se kaboni oni pedua mu a nana tesen ohia obetimi nya hoden otimi nya hoden nti eboye okire kwan a banji krofa so nya nnuanu enye frim nyina no adan ni wa kire wa hase so aye ne picture so adan ato kama nti abofra esua ohun se weeni anyi bi kura no efie edwa bi ofie omu no bi ofie mo hu afi okro nkruma ahun se sana mai kan ina no kom edwa so obenye dan obenye biato ha eno so wakire de eno so akwan fa so enya nnuanuro enya fi mu nyina enso ye dan ehu ewo mu no akire so kra ye dan vegetable etimi de nkwan etimi de stew ahoro ekwan fa prepare no enema ahoro betimi de prepare nyina no odi ama wa hase don say na say osuan we a hwe fopem papa abofra no onya bobo fra no ye pa afi orange enso anka enema ahoro ye nya fi ankam ekwan fa so nya no ni nyina so ye odi ama abofra no hase afi yekoye milk ekwan ba zikwe fa so nya milk eno so wa chirechire mu emu ahoro e betime nya milk afi on chen enyina wa dan o chirechire mu ha sei amana afi ye meat nso on say meat go ahoro bebrebe emu ahoro ben it nya meat film ni nyina so nya da ja chirechire nyina mu ha ndo say ebibia o ka ho asem bia no o ma da nimfoni ebo bo from iron aka ni trimu ye pa eno tempempren so free o 0507 200 afi 0241 520946 bo mo dey so friends see a afi o say sauce ifa mi ahoro be na enye efifi on say enuane ahoro no enye bi wo na ifa enua so ni nyina so akire kwan ya fa so nua ahoro ayede enya fi ena afi emua enso emua ahoro bia enya fi bia enso ayede akire wa hase ene emfa so ben ene wo adidie so ona na on steps no on se wo si ahye no ka ni disuo ose eboan se kom de no ni dia na also betwa hwezi
ene no betwa hwe
na so nya bibi to mu a na body no na aye kama afi se betimi anyini ye nso aye hia duane e betimi anya ahoɔden nya nnuanuro hia duane enti afi ye betimi akotie are nso a ye wo nnuane horo bebrebe a ede ekotie are eno so nyina wa dai wa kyerkyere ebo bofra no amohu ekwampa ne nnuane ahoro a ebetima ade akotie are nyina wa dai wa kyerkyere wa se akwan fa so nyini yie ne nyina so wa dai wa kyerkyere na nasa awofra no kra bukui na osua wo de ne ba kakra bobosi se abofra na dwene da se den kra na etimi nka ne tirimu na Also, when my best book at a dance. If you say a marble front, a cab of front to me, pa. And the soft phrase is 0507 200 of 0241 520946. Say because say from crutch could see SS. And then the books are horrible and they all in crutch room. So by increase over literacy activity. Obenya numeracy activity, we just scribbling, obenya carrying. And then activity book will be in crutch room. Afe so obaye nursery nso a obenya literacy for nursery 1 and 2, obenya numeracy for nursery 1 and 2. Obenya writing for nursery 1 and 2, obenya phonics, so obenya picture reading and so for nursery 1 and 2 no. Obaye engage nso obenya numeracy for KG 1 and 2, obenya literacy for KG 1 and 2. Obenya award of people for KG 1 and 2, obenya creative art, obenya phonics, obenya coloring. Afe obenya early writing, na background so obenya comprehension. Ni nyina KG products no. And the one say baby bia obi a friend sia was 0507 200 of 0241 520946. Afe so obaye in primary side nso a obenya maths basic 1 up to basic 6, obenya science, obenya English, obenya award of people, obenya computing, obenya creative art, obenya scientific, obenya history, obenya RME, obenya kwapem, obenya mfante, obenya dagbani, obenya ga, obenya ewena French. Ni nyina basic 1 to basic 6. Afi wamba maths workbook and science workbook so ade aka ho a ebetuma bo we pa. Afi so oba yen JSS no enso a na so to form 1 na say big 7 na ti say we kra mi oto big 7 na odi wie basic 9 a won san to book for be dey here sa kro no be dey obehwe ni yi. And also obenya maths combine, obenya science no share combine, obenya English share combine, obenya career technology yes share combine, obenya creative art, obenya tree, obenya social, obenya RME, afi obenya French and computing. Ni nyina combine. So that's one pass question for all subjects. And no certain do good phones na all solve na Maakye ma. Best brain book nko na my. Afi say obaye SS product nso obenya biology na obenya government. And the modern say baby obi a phrase see our 0507 200 of 0241 520946. And so be pebi atokra na if no be ato. So yen kra hasia. Na so koye Royal Park no top road no exercise mo no mu a. Won say bo so bebrebe e wo mu. So fi of an side nso na e ban so a. Odu ma 7 so a play and learn and so eben best point e wo interchange nchen ho no ma. So wo Medina so a ko Salusla so Ozogo Junction. Afi wo abeka inside nso a ko Doran nso a nso abeka inside ho a. Afi so wo Kumasi nso a ko Keo na afi edum nso obenya biato. San so Otakra nso a ko Market Circle. Afi okufuda nso be ko to tattoo na wo Tamale nso a be ko taxi rank. Na so pe book e be to for pem papa ma ba rachi dia. E best book nko na e boss adran. Eno nti bomode aso be frɛ 0507 200 of 0241 520946. Book I better for pen papa. No nya videos ahwe na de usua no aka otim de na best brain nko na etimi eto sa for pen papa no. Okay.
Yara say best brain for say mode we ebre we check here 33 minutes past the hour of 8 e wa harwa making kind text messages ni bi na fe member back says here. This one is from Kwablanvi of Pokwase Benghazi, Akwatia by election. People of Akwatia have already decided to vote for the NDC party candidate in the person of Bernard Bediakon. The people of Akwatia believe that Bernard Bediakon is a hard-working guy and bring development in Akwatia. Although MPP leadership is doing everything possible to reclaim Akwatia's seat, they won't succeed. Greetings to lawyer Eduji Tamaklo. Onosonedia Ode Eba Yenonon. This one says, good morning. Kojo, good morning. Oboba Kili Bobo at Joby Men's Fashion Agogo Boase Ashanti Achim North. NDC removed Chief Justice isn't bring work to the youth. It will not bring work to the youth. NDC Emre Yang Kaso. Okay, also Nedia or the Eba ye no. And then this one says that good morning, kids. Okay, blah blah blah. Okay, let me read this one from Matsawood. Matsawood, good morning. Me sure say be Boko Kumase Bantama. I said the good people of Akwatia are well discerning, and no amount of intimidation will stop them from voting for Solomon Asumedu to continue the legacy of the late Ernest Yao Kumin. Akwatia is a done deal for the MPP. Regards to Honorable Sampine, National First Vice Chairman, hopeful. On also media or they buy and no. And then OPK patriotic goso regards to Honorable Katrina Feko, Mr. Mankwa Ejare Isaac, incoming MPP of Bono, regional organizer. And then he says that Mahama and the NDC have succeeded with the judiciary coup. They plan in opposition to remove Chief Justice Tokono and pack Supreme Court with NDC judges, which is bad precedent. So when power changes in 2028, MPP will apply the same law to remove NDC Chief Justice, because what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. And Akwatia people should vote massively for King Solomon Asumedu MPP, who is the best bet to replace the late Ernest Kumi. Regards to Mr. Patrick Ades to USA, and also Nene Die Abano. Teacher Constitution, before I go to Ziga from Teacher Constitution, Yamwase. Today is election day. All roads in Ghana seem to be leading to Akwatia for the by-election. I beg the MPP national executives not to depend solely on the IGP for security, or they will be left disappointed. I also urge the good people of Akwatia not to be deceived by NDC propaganda, considering their strongholds lack development. Voting for NDC won't bring development. Voting for the NDC won't bring development in the area. Greetings to Honorable Dr. Oseya Educhum, and then Koka JFK, and then Honorable Mrs. Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumsen. Also Nadia or the Ebai. And I mean, Kwakutiambra Sisia, na yene one of our correspondents, Eastern Region, Trinebua Kudia, ending Komo. He's on the line. Nene Komo. Voting started an hour ago, 7, as to how it is running and going, eco smooth. And I said, the eco Sisia currently, Yenin Command Fee, Yembra back, Sisia Trinebua, Maakye, Eba, Kessben, Maakye, so Bibiabo call, Ewa Kwatia there.
Yenia, Kojo, Bibiabo call, Kwatia.
Nice.
Yeah,
the radio say. But take us through. It is 8:37. From Anopa 7, and I said, Fanessa Humachi Hokrano, ABC Sema Mino Kase. How smooth and a process in it, now for Yembra, other matters and so.
Okay, so Kojo, yeah, maybe do Akwatia no more 4 a.m. and we are na Kojo checkpoint Biano. Police for him say and a jebo and yabidu. Akwatia by election. Yade epic then is a parliamentary candidate. Man representing the people of Equitiano and a year twabano. Kojo Uwemua, Sam Dikanka, Police for Baye Duminu Dunum checkpoint be a society screening will be a near far. And my bonny be in the mechanic my bonny and it is a 2 in Kwaneba go omo a friend is intel be sir and we and if be never be room and into room as a police for a check you ukuta we have some training now ukuta accreditation that's how they accreditation a check and as a be did maybe ewo krum hanu mo a ese wotimi ere what should the intia we work krum odo non so pepe and a share election na se ewo Akwatia hanomo na oje said the voting pattern na Akwaye no I don't really know bia na ade enchin yeni ntia number edi kind I've run through some of the polling centers but number ewo honibura 3 4 5 7 as I speak with you 3 police stations I ben me na be jino mu finfin no who single individual Akwatia. It has been stayed for about 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Obia and Akwatia. Inti me who say any police for the work and nipa abu who so they are preparing themselves to come in their numbers to cast their vote. You can't tell. But what backgrounds hanoma as compared to no, some of the elections are police presence a very massive. For one police station, you could get about 15 to 17 police personnel buying one police station. The other police station, you have 20. The police wants to get vantage areas say basa yibia enkoso e wo krom hanom nti kojo police for there omo presence no a doors wo hanom enche bia na ehun say the general secretary of the New Patriotic Party Justin Kubia on the leader of parliament on the minority side you are afenyo Maakye on the other delegation on mobile inspections police station we are following the NDC for this wakasa we should video come by and Asante Mampong MC ono na yidi kan ne kasa ya no ono na in charge of this police station at Migina High. But yeah, deploy all the MMDCs to all the police centers to say omonhwe na anyama there and cause the election has been very smooth. Ade ba ko ana e cause wo ba bia Justin Kubia omo share omo probo na so no say odu ba bi no na candidates no ya de ne posters afin fam baby omo to aba no nti ono ankasa Kubia nankasa ko wawaye ema banta kitwa bi esi men kasa banta skemes kitwa bi ni see but they've tried to rectify that and everything has been solved. Bibia air cost to smooth election no air cost to smooth, just that the number here is low, the turnout is very low. Kojo, the turnout is very low.
Beyond the issue of security, 5,500 deploy mobile Akwatia, obviously will put some people off and all that. But beyond that, on grounds, is it the fact that Jumaifo woman, Osha Akwatia, in terms of occupation and then the way our near Martina, how is it? Is it a mining community in Tomoko? Is it the fact that you could jump kwakoto in your journey home? And now so say we are not basically interested in these kind of things that is happening. And now say, like you rightly said, maybe about 12 or konomu na if you kromo ba no more kwakoto na.
Because one could also say yeah, the whole canon and correct. But one would also say your friend Jumaifo a woman until they will have to go and sign before they come back here to cast their vote. And also honomo. So galamse for ne Maakye ne de omwa na ma babako minim yes omwa na ma babako ba wo hwa nzongo kwakukojo excuse my word zongo ni anu zongo for no they are very aggressive here oma determine some to aba so the ko in there I cannot say but hwa line no omo amo ban de mo na ba ebe zongo ma na e de ma afia katakata omuti no ma ye videos no bre me ma na shesha mo jana bia zongo phone me yi kete phone na shesha mo jana bia no omo chenko bia abo no cry to see a many job no e omo e na ehia say e benkum say ni fa for me I can't tell but deeper be higher I guess you said number 2 aba no ama omo candidate Kojo ye need actually na number na wa hane there it is very low. It is very low.
Okay. Okay.
I've walked through about 16 of the stations, police centers, but the turnout is low. The turnout is low. And it was so deal no a bono I started buying so one and so na pretty kra say no so preventing for for that one I can't tell, but we said initially no near the police for a bahanomo police for the breba be kurumo it can also cost people I know they mama no one any omu show police na they no but police for armor cars na they na any na mu how and the obi okwa hu ka ida hu an yembe no we are trying to educate some people say ade na ekoso no enye husa na na be chewa adwen as the penifo said the penifo na eche mu no enti igutu a ye hwe senia ebeko uma no what say maintain one but kojo mami kan se mi ntuja ye call ablekuma north no ade we see and today I have seen the same thing means the police for intelligence was there. I was interviewing a particular gentleman and in the end of the conversation I'm having Now so NDC. So the nearby guy I know Jinan Chen so said no so MPP ni of the Kantai say I didn't na me interview in the premises voting, you know. And before I realized not I've done banter between me, you know, and the KPD, but Opa Monfemra, Opa Monshas, the best bro, every commander, and you could see, say, the police were there. These people had this conversation. I said, this banter about 5 minutes. Police said to me and confront them. And what I noticed was that police knew Bahua, lawyers or call stop or manager of a situation, you know. I saw another police officer eyeing him. So and this is very treacherous. Kojo, I don't know. The name say intelligence, and I almost pick it there. For that one, I can't tell. But we should also look at that area. Said the for M5 mansion some and Koye Bibia and Pata and say election.
All right. Very well. Chunwa ibesa about chance and when into no koso awo homa chunwa kudia ne no edin komono yen regional correspondent or war the eastern region to be specific you see I know Akwatia by election no, and these are the updates if you honum bano and you were watching some shots on your screen if you honum bano my enko na fe yentie media engagement General Secretary of the MPP Ora Justin Kodua any media no Akwatia na fe yemra back this year.
Were you expecting us to stay there? Well, some would say that that's why we're seeing, for instance, what we're seeing this morning, just some few minutes ago, some, skirmishes there at one of the polling centers. What actually happened? What kind of skirmishes? Nothing happened. It's part of the election. They were complaining that you are taking down some posters and all of that. But is it proper for a poster to be at the polling center? Is it proper? I said, is it proper? So if something is wrong, it is wrong. It is wrong.
Mr. Kodo, what could be a fulfilling outcome for the new patriotic party at the end of the day?
Well, at the end of the day, at 5 p.m., when coalition.
Would MPP accept the outcome of this election regarding by election?
Well, what would be the reason for us to accept? What would be the reason for us not to accept? You can't answer. But what message do you have for the people of Akwatia? I would not be intimidated. Have you spoken to the leadership of the NDC already? Because you felt insulted or slighted by yesterday's development. We were not the one who called for the meeting. It was Peace Council. If Peace Council has any reservation or any issue, they should call the NDC. If it was our meeting, then the person would have come in. But it was the Peace Council that called for the meeting. There's such a high deployment of security personnel. We don't have any. Who wants to go and who vote? And as we are here, have you seen any police personnel intimidating any voter? No. So if they have any hidden agenda, why should we be worried about it?
Okay, so and that's Mayor Ora Justin Kodua, the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, speaking to media men on grounds. And I think I saw the minority leader, Ora Alex, or Sahine Alex Afenyo Maakye, so it means that deployments in it is not just about the 5,500 security men, Edomakugu, and Emono. Meka said the nation is still Akwatia, Sisi Ameno, Ekasempimfoni na Ego Hono. But young corner, the Asanteman MC, Ora, Yaukumi, Eso, Edin, Komubi, Ewo, Akwatia, Yenti, Nafi, Yamra Baxisia.
So far, so good. Afena, Yaba started, Bibia, Adam, Boko, Yente, Atinkaboni Bia.
Okay, Honorable Minister, Enura. Is there any skirmishes here? And I said, what is it? I say, yes, crowd to this election.
But that's a baby. I'm saying, friend, at the common Yenti, the only acting Cabonia, Etienne, and a brand TV, the motto, a question or unfortunately, Ufrimo. That is only a year, Yetiana so far. It has been very peaceful. Atmosphere Bibia at the form car, Bibia at the Dankwah.
Honorable, then you have free these two politicians, then you have more.
Okay. So I only say, I imagine somebody sabe enia saboni ye wia ana enia no mom city ekuta obi ana yesi ebeje nti enya da ya ba yesi eba beji city na ne akọ ya dia na se ebere asumbe baba ye timaje city no na obi a bebe no wato so hwe oye no obi tima hwe oye sabe at the end of the day obi a betima wi ne branch e dia ma ye party the ruling party National Democratic Congress NDC
we say na MP omo candidate o free no MP am o so free na anya mo bo kakra say election kan ko ambije as party ya mo ye concern no ya o free
oh yeah so our your national chairman 1 week observation or call akoma mo yako any party benefit bebre ntamu kama mo yako some we dey aye ba election anya dan ya ye beto obi a obi sina na mu nti we dey obi be sina na mu just any papa ko mienu miensa be epre ansa na ye nya na mu sini nti we dey enye mombo asem we dey eye sabe nyame na aye na djuma ye gramofo ye say alhamdulillah ni asibia no ye fasa da manyame na sabe ye nua NS kumi no ye fa gentleman lawmaker but sanya nyame epe na wo ye nti we dey eye akonya na ato e wo so ye prebi sabe ya ye beji akonya na ade aka ye de ho
obi obon timpo say me be ba yes
the abato the chewadre na minche madwe enye basabasa nti yesre obi bia sa brabeto aba wo hwa hanoma ba bia da hoku basabasa bia anko so piefi efibra na brabeto aba sa ba ya bibia ba de ebekoso kama so far so good ahade bibia edemo kama wo hwa the other police stations me ameni aba atuma
Okay, so 51 minutes past the hour of 8. Just gone by Asante Mampo MCU right ya Okumi and Oten and Kansisi or no so then the Tuja Ewa Akwatia. No, Mamen call back to your correspondence and about Kura Samuel Wusu and no Ewa Akwatia Sisi and NJ what is also happening here a certain area or no so Ejina Sisi no. Sami Bibia Boko dear, but baby Ujina Sisi no tell us at the same your name a year or other. Correspondent to Dean Commerce numbers in here low, will be on no one. Baby, I will one in terms of security now, if numbers in a banner so at the same war. And in any case, I him for potting in Aujina is here.
Okay, could you say, make us a Mijina Achim Takra? A Takra ACHS Police Center. I want to see a Mijina.
Okay, all right. And you know, tell us a honor at the same Fitia no power by Honomono, business Emra can say 852. Saying and call.
Okay. If it's an apartment, maybe do a Chem Takrasi, maybe do her no Sia and the far, and I maybe do her. I have polling stations near Makumaku Edu. And I maybe do her na Ghana Police Service in the Electoral Commission. I deploy one more equipment near there, one more the Bay Chuma. And maybe do you know, baby, I know, or no more chance and on so never. Now, my chance, ya be Adaka so near there. Na party agent how do abe wait na say sene ade ne be sase na obia etima sase atoaba na manante polling centers no mako ensia matimi anante nantimuni nyina no currently me wo SHS takrasi SHS bebi a meko bia no asumdue ho bebi a meko bia abato na ekoso kama Ghana Police Service boban sene se ene sene fata at least unya police for crowd polling center biano na police for be 15 ana wo mo ewo no mo hwe aboban na ba bia me ba ye takrasi SHS ni parodo a mo hwe ni mi se o meto aba 449 asat 810 na nipa ato aba mako 27 na ato aba asat 810 o hwe se na kiu no ene turn out na etie no a ye be ka ne se esan say center ta wodo am ko fa ye no aha any one place turn out no enso so emu yedu kakra as compared to others e do ho no na turn out no ye low kura ayire so a be hu nipa be 2 3 na wo mu gina ho afi no mo beto but baby ho no abekọ no na line mu no obenya nipa 5 6 7 na wo edi line mu aha de sisi ya meka say kura mani ekire hoi nipa edi line mu ebeburu edu and delay ni ma wom eba beto aba it tells you say baby am we no woman need say wom abeto aba na wom ato na sumdue mu so ama baby aye kama ahai enso ne baby a NDC parliamentary candidate lawyer Bernard Beidu no aha na woto aba enti amma security no aye tight and wachi nkurɔfoɔ so abɛbɔdɔm te me kakra wɔ ha ɛhwɛ sɛ wɔn candidate ne ba bɛto aba na sɛ bi wɔn wɔ ɛyɛ nhoahoa ne adeɛ bi a wɔn nso wɔatumi de ama no adeɛ a m'ani agye wɔ ho ɛyɛ security observations ɛne adeɛ a ɛrekɔ so wɔ ha ɛne wobɛhu ɛyɛ police cars ahodoɔ ɛnam kakra na moto ɛnam kakra na wei nam mu sɛ na bɛyɛ amanfoɔ bɛhu sɛ police no nso so ɛwɔ grounds wɔn hwɛ ama bambɔ akɔ so yɛayɛ interviews kakra with wɔn a wɔn bɛto aba no ne bidu ɛka ne sɛ wɔn koraa no sɛdeɛ wɔtete wɔ radio so ne TV so sɛ polisifoɔ adɔɔso ne adeɛ no wɔn bɛduru ha no na wɔn ahu sɛ ɛnyɛ saa na ɛte ama ehu a na nka bi ɛwɔ wɔn mu no ne nyinaa no adwane ɛkɔnti yɛkasa deɛ kwadwo ahade bɔkɔɔ abatoɔ no ɛrekɔto asomdwee mu.
Okay, very well. Yeah, that's it, baby. Best hand by hobium. As and when into Bibenia, you keep us updated on that. Yeah, that's it, baby. Samuel Owusu ano one of our correspondents or war Akwatia Sisiana would say on yesu AD and common afa the ekoso ewo honomono. Yanko nafe yene ziga ending common ziga stick brought to you by Doc Activated Chaco. DOK Doc Activated Chaco, and the day is the case taken a break or Kessben matches so ye pet they will hit back again. Ewo Akwatia nafe ye hu de back to me aye ewo honum entinu se enche ye ne ziga eba be di enkomo ne ahwe de eko na afi de eba nyina but ma menkan text messages ni bi na afi ye nhwe na afi membra ziga so na ye no endi enkomo teacher Kojo Tepa or say I'm afraid of the judiciary in Ghana. This means that any future MPP government, whether 4, 8 or 12 years will also sack Chief Justice appointed by John Mahama in 2025. So, this syndrome of you sack my Chief Justice, when I come back, I will sack your Chief Justice is going to continue. In my opinion, Ghana will not progress steadily. Greetings to Honorable Eric Nana Ajimai, Prempe MP for Ahafo and not North Chairman Odenoho Kweku Apiakoka GFK and I'm visiting Mr. Wusu Bempa of Inshire so constituency chairman hopeful and also Nadia and no I mean Brazil ho na fe yem fan twaso na fe if you will head back again ewo Akwatia na fe share the ekoso ewo hodom. There are interesting revelations be ekoso on grounds among the political parties. I'll tell you some. Na fe yehu de eko ene de benyina siga bia boko de morning
ya me adumo ye boss
ya de radio ase enti no yem fan hihye so zika stake ne den eko
yeah boss
yes sir
lawyer Bidema ye dey not trust him we say from day one
yeah
and then in the finality and what's army education ye dan ase ye dan ase
feel okay mame yeah that's it
yeah then I say pa when yatna from day one petition is say ba no and watch chichi mu ba sisa pempesu adu in fact yakwa article 146 yakeka mu sensem sa enene ye betimi aka say di bibia ba na wiye bebo
papa
okay but you see President Mahama President Mahama I would say ye na ne yeka ye say chama no be president no eno ma miensa na de bonachi say oba nursing training allowance obetwam so ye ka so obetwa nursing training allowance no it took the chairman of the manifesto committee on health Emma National Democratic Congress Dr. Refidi Nikakra and Obama Tebeka say President Mahama interested but on one kasa President Mahama no asa baby shemukena including the free senior high school now for the border she say Oba free senior high school no be say beboa nipa bebre kan say on say ba no ababon Tebeka say on say so akje ba kwa na ka ho ye say obesisa constitution no say the beya obebid for 10 it ne ade ane ye de President Mahama chi ne people are calling for it say ese so no aka so to nanum tuo so na yɛte free na no sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ this country will have a respite, and of course you be put that matter to rest. Now President Mahama ekokoye sa announcement we see outside this country. Where announcement in we no say on siki for 3rd term. Wakawie ansa na yebeyi chief justice. So wakawie ansa na yeba beyi chief justice. E de na opese wo kire yi. Wa me ni chief justice ansa na obeka say me nko. But o can say main contest biba na say I don't have any idea say me call for 3rd term. So how the bichi ansa na obeyi chief justice. E de na o penti di akire. O penti di akire en say the na kofo ka say you want to remove the chief justice. Send your beya they will go and seek for the interpretation of Article 66. Na yakwa kwa ho amana sa ba beye a contest na man ho kwa amana sa contest no. And yet I'm not after that. It will make that announcement and sana chief justice remove an eba. They make what say. Fair enough. What should I say? And yeah, a chief justice no, and I'm after chief justice. No mum, the incompetence and the misbehavior a dibo na chi ebetimi dia yidu no the Article 146 clause 1 na kan eno hu aduma na meye tie. I will treat this to President Mahama say onye this country good and oye this country gooder. It wouldn't be only for this country but entire National Democratic Congress. Say yenim say charges ye di aboma me no. But so wo hwe no ma e koba nyina ade ani lawyer bedema di nkomo o ka kire me say ziga charges bia wate na bonti bia na treat ni say enka ho because the committee no o matena the prima facie case ya establish e di abom no o bode bo ye very say maame no obia ma abonten beka say these are the charges e di abom maame de make an what say de obia kotra radio suka de maame ni defend dia enkofo a afri say omu busa no pese omanya leak eno omu di busa no a maame no e answer ni na no yesi en treat sa ensem ni na say eno ne nye the former charges e di abom maame no eti se me no kasa isisi ai de sameja fiko kan no asempa FM de NPP for leaky a womode call wuntumi FM de ye kan wo other radios and television stations no yes ye treating ni na say ene the charges is being sanctioned by the committee and the national ye very say council of state they make what say. Now the reason why I make we say President Mahama wa me hu say enye you be remove the chief justice no we seek for 3rd term etika ye be pese though emrana ma President Mahama ho kwan say what explaining the self entry obia emrana na ho kwan even the chief justice according to the law chief justice President Mahama ho kwan say on cut the charges no fan chief justice per the law and according to lawyer Bidima they make an watch say eti so ultimate chief justice dia and not just a Ghana ko pa ultimate say but for records send your beya papa yem painting bad median kameyamwa charges ya diabo mama no they should allow the committee and other people say almost for charges number bontain not some of us you the reason why the woman is removed because NDC and PNDC they don't have good records. We read the history effort judiciary. Meno ka say recently and Akwatia Japan mukokodi celebrate the anniversary of the 3 missing judges who were murdered. Yenim ni pa ku omo up to now. They make an watch say but they were murdered. Ewo your friend say PNDC time. And the National Reconciliation Commission, it is not good. The frustration
from the former chairman of National Democratic Congress, me Dr. Kwabena in Konya Terminator. There are so many ways to kill a cat. It is not good. The Akwagan and his people, Muntie 3. It is not good. This is for future. It is not for National Democratic Congress alone, but future. Dachi was a munti. Akabaya. Mame no charges ya diabono. Ana cooperate. We are independent. Sorry, we are innocent. Etikabaya. Yanyano. Your friend say video. And I say the charges say or I pay before the committee in the nano. I can't manage TV sumo be a shebi. Vema mame di nyaka no. It stands for something. So they should do the publication. Me explaining widely to Ghanaians the reason why the woman is removed. Because we are here that Bar Council and Commonwealth Lawyers Association. Commonwealth lawyers. You can't Commonwealth lawyers. Wales, Scotland, England, Ghana, Nigeria. Obiaka Commonwealth, about 100 and something countries Omaka Commonwealth winner. And I trust say they should stop removing the Chief Justice. The American what I say. Because Obia whole quine. So Obia was interest was asking with him. So in order to be vindicated, in order send your beya that chibi will be kwakasa party we say from Ghana judiciary for them. They have a bad record against the judiciary. Send yanka say no about bobu trimu person remove mamene keke. Send yanka say say mamene debim nemum ni facial expression be against President Mahama and then papa ne dia gina so dia yinu no nanka aboteye moaba. Ye make that explanation to all of us. Niye because you say mami na ubisa question bi na me de pa. Already 146 no a ekwe fast you remove mami no. So obeye a justice of a superior court. I bet me am a chief justice no. Ubisa fantastic question. That person who say mami no you removing as a chief justice. Can she be a judge at the same time? Yes, because I would say mamu no 62 years and no may need 65 to 70. It means that anka woman no baby a unse can retirement ni nyanu. Eti se ni yeyi no per the law no say he's been sacked, dismissed na djuma abon. Because you don't qualify say chief justice charges near the abon na you remove no. You don't qualify to be a superior a justice.
To even be on the bench.
The bench.
They say
Oko forever. We djuma abon ti say na come akadi 8 years. Ti see 8 year djuma na can be a better retirement at the age of 60. Na ka we 8 years yes so kokotire fi. There was your number or a crew or mba or nananom ni ade. So it was one now who is menye bibia na yi media. What do the people think? You understand? So we need explanation.
Okay.
They should come out.
Okay.
Namo be enye di obi ti radio suka. The committee ne aduma ye fa hye ba bia ye di na betimi akokan bi. Ne he ma me response. Bisa no ne he response ye say etalia. Ne say enye wagadran because this country is not for anybody.
Okay.
Enye wagadran. Enye buapayo, enye otan, enye ni bre, enye o how, enye atete, enye say na ye na ya subu find that.
All right. Unyanko because umma eya Akwatia no see but we go to
tanko computer ni yi.
Yebeko
ni mako. Yebeko. O ma start create confusion. Director of elections Edema LPP.
Okay.
Ono one yi tanko computer. Omo mienu. They have started creating confusion. We have been reading them here.
Okay.
Text never. Assembly
men kwanse be call sis ya bare enko ne ne eye imascon ndi enkomo still doc activated charcoal and a day ezike stake no ebre but yenko only problem yenko yenko
biara me si ma odi biara me
odi ne be man o be dey listen one no bi
mema doc
e do withdraw one me yi bia man
ti mema doc na doc dey ne say obi a wa e bloated uzu waduma yi we ya unkofie ntem wo sa abre e bi kwa no odidi anajo bi kwa say by say obi a odidi anadwo bia no Emma when you need them. Oh, okay. You class yes, sir. And to be out the other, you don't have any chance, any choice. We have dog activated charcoal powder. Now a flash is no money to call. We be a bloated indigestion. We have dog activated charcoal powder. Obi on ma odidi wi ana na bofro. Otumi ka na bofro. Odi anwa bi ana na bofro. Won da ne pet na bofro. O how to atwa. A dog activated charcoal powder and the baby was mama. All se bia wo so bia type bia. All sa type bia. Said ye drew bia grade bia do bia no. We betu ase na se akoso so anu. E betu ase. E 100% natural herb and ye dia. Food poison wo mu a. Wako hospital wie na ya twa free mu no. And my young woman is a answer. We have dog activated charcoal powder to flash a yina asiano so the BT no SCP esita. And they and Kofo could 5,000 Ghana cedis, 3,000 Ghana cedis could eat teeth whitening. There be dog activated charcoal powder. Would you be an idea about brush? Would you chia that is a fita white to say snow sanity? 80 Ukwadia pharmacy Ukumasi. Laugh like commerce pharmacy Ukumasi. Lancer chemist Kumasi, Kolonak Kumasi, Ubenya Biato. Nana Boachi Watema, Mensa or Takra, the Delight Pharmacy Kofodia, Budama Pharmacy Washaman, and a pharmacy Bia or Kaisi Drug Lane, Ubenya Biato. Number in the 059 820 6885, 059 820 6885, and at 020 66 16620, 020 66 16620. And your dog activated charcoal powder. Pebito wati nesipicita. Maninya o dali ya debia. Ununumbie na usipicita. And say na Kenya mame. Ne kwa dia uza pa wo pa. And then mame kwa banya dog pa. Akebi kwa mitimi kasa.
Iti ye wie say no. Ye wie say ne ekoton sase. Ito sa ho ya wie sape. Na bodi weni atre ye mascon.
Asase ada wada.
Anade. Omo adiero. Iti yenko e mascon fo bia boko de.
Nyame aduma communion anso e.
Radiatum kakakra yeguso. Bi enti oni yenko.
Yo, me da say abusia for yemfa enchia sonkon every Imascon Estate Ghana Limited. Baby biata wo hye yen ena no pay ewo afidikasie so ene baby bia wotie ye no yempa bonyinata ene so twede mponkwame wo beka ho na wo be hyira wo yie obemu onyina che na de etwa to ahunya pa no ene so obemu onye sika se de be ya wonya sika no a enye dani a baby obeda enye dani asase bi abeto ya obesi dan ba ko anam yenu bi ewo so na no abusia moso na baby di mutrato mo na baby atena se de be ya efie matena tuo wo ha bebre ba ye ha mu ewon kwafo fie ensase bia wo kwa akototo be wiase ye di tuo gina wo so be wiase ye di ensekan emane akode agina mo so ya ye kumu asaje asase na fim nsam se de bia sa wo ha wo nyina to betwa nti ana Imascon Estate Ghana Limited nyame adom yaba ediama mo se ye ba be yimu afiri sa wo ha wo yi emu de bia me ba me kase Imascon Estate Ghana Limited de senka wo fa no huhumu asem ana babru asem anke beka se ye yaje nkwa Yesu Kristo fi se wo ba so be fa de apro na tete ase no waye ni yie na mani da so sonko ene nkwa atuma bam sa pepepe na Imascon Estate Ghana Limited onyankopon waye ye ne yaduma kuyi eba ye no so many years enie ane aye atuma ya ton ensase ediama Ghana de hia chimato ene wa ho biada ema ho de biada obi biada obaya so ye na wodi achi emiedi kan kohwe asase no ewo Tropolia eno ewo Greater Accra region mu ansana nani age ho awie no wode kakra ababeto ase ni akwa akwotene de ediama no na yama no kwan no ahya ase ayeso adwuma na de aka no wato no bo ase no watua ne kakra no selfo no womo wodi kan eni akwa akwadwo omodie no eni die nkuto ana wono mo agye apart from that nso abasubodie nkuto ana mo edema yen afei wodi no to nkyɛn so a adansedie nkuto no mgu so mo edi ho adanse edi eche wonom nuanom a ebinom wɔ other regions mu wonom nuanom a ebi wɔ akwantuo mu abrokyire ɛne emiahodo ɛwɔ wiase ne nyina no ɛyɛ no kwaredie sonko a Imascon Estate Ghana Limited yedi ɛwɔ yɛn sase papa yɛ ton no emu minua me ne wo ɛkasa yi ɛyade sɛ promotion sonko a yɛ ya to din sɛ Susu for land promotion Susu for land promotion akamre kakra bi emretiawa bi na ne mre aso aka just a year 17 days pe sawoke kamboma enu 3 weeks enu na wotwe me ensampo we chese aka eye 2 weeks ani ena kakra bi na sa promotion na akona wiye ɛno nti wotie mi na wosan ɛhwɛ me wɔ afidi kɛseɛ so no baabi biada wɔ bia no deɛ yɛka ne sɛ tutu amerika ma wo nan ɛma wo to na ɛbɔmmɔden abra yɛ office yɛ a yɛwɔ nkramantam yi emu Sprinters Road Community 18 Junction Sprinters Road Community 18 Junction yɛne Allied Filling Station wɔ kwan no so ɛna ɛdi nhwɛni mu yɛsan bɛn KFC baabi a wɔtɔn aduane no ɛno nti imas comfort deɛ yɛka ne sɛ bɔmmɔden abra na woba w'ani bɛgye kɛkɛ w'ani bɛgye mmorosoɔ na wankasa nso bɛnya ahotɔsoɔ ɛwɔ asase pa a woba bɛtɔ ɛwɔ imascon Estate Ghana Limited yɛahyɛ hɔ no mu abusa promotion meka sɛ aka mmerɛtiawa bi na akɔ na wiɛ yei yɛato ne din sɛ Susu for Land Promotion Susu for Land Promotion asekyerɛ ne sɛ wode abra yɛahyɛ yɛ neɛ no wo ntrase ɛne nkratasam na fa kakra di kan ɛto aseɛ neɛmfa wo nkɔ yɛ asase ne so neɛnkɔto wo deɛ ɛma wo na hyɛ aseɛ yɛ so adwuma tie ne yo yɛde ma wo a yɛbɛma wo kwan na wahyɛ aseɛ si wo dan no ɛwɔ so wode kakra ana ɛto aseɛ na ɛberɛ ogu so a wosi wo dan no na deɛ aka no nso no yɛasprɛde ne mfie bebree ɛde ama wo na wato bo ase na watua ne kakra kɔm sɛ ɛmna yɛne watena se ahyɛ no ɛbɛso no na nyame adi adɔm na watumi atua awie yɛmpa ebompo nso ɛne sɛ ɛnkasa mmerɛ ni ɛnu so no na wodane a wosie no na nka wasie awie sɛ wonse nwie nso mpo a na ɛna aka kakra bi na nka watumi asie awie abusuan Mascon Estate Ghana Limited yabasi yɛba abɛboa mu yabasi yɛba abɛyi mu afiri ɔhaw no mu ɛbisɛ to de bi a nkramantam mu nsuo tɔ ase de si yiri fa nipa na afa nipa ɛbɔ bena na nipa ɛsu obi kura nya baabi ɛna saa wɔ haw no ana owura hope gati wɔpani kwantɔfo da Imascon Estate Ghana Limited yɛdwuma koyi ano no wɔse ɛyɛ na ha no ɛno nti saa wɔ ha no wɔpɛ sɛ obi biada wɔkɔ saa amanim wɔ ha no mu no ɛbɛtumi afiri ne so sɛdeɛ bi a yɛnkɔbɔ Ghana aban tiri so deɛ yɛyɛ ɛyɛ aban adwuma o wɔsɛ aban na nka bɔmɔden ɛtumi yɛ saa ɛfisɛ yɛagogo nneɔma mu wobɛtumi ɛsi wo dan na biribi akɔ kama ɛde ama wo no ɛyɛ hwan na ɛbɛyɛ kɔsɛ aban na ɛyɛ ne nso Imascon Estate Ghana Limited yɛse yɛdwe wo nti aban adwuma no yɛagye a yɛyɛ ɛde ama no ɛno ntimi nea wotie me na wohwɛ me bɔmmɔden ansa woma nneɔma bi ansi wo kwan womu obi nso ɛna adaw na mmom bɔmmɔden bra na yɛ no wɔ entrance nyɛ mu asase no bi wate abusua Susu for Land Promotion deɛ ɛteɛ nsa yɛn nsase no wonim sɛ ɛnkran ha deɛ baabi nsase papa deda ɛde sɛ Imascon yɛ deɛ no ɛyɛ no mo deɛ ne boɔ den nanso yɛ de yɛato yɛ bo ase yɛate boɔ no so ɛde aba fama yɛagom de ama wo sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wo nso bɛtumi de wɔn ahyɛ mu na watumi atɔ bie mede price no bɛma na ansa na no de ka gye number si ma mekan ebia na wodi dwumadie bi ane mpo wopɛ sɛ wofiri ka mu sintam na woto a wakɔntuo so yɛ number edi kan no ɛyɛ 0553 840 646 0553 840 646 and 0553 838 730 0553 838 730 the attract one ɛyɛ 0209 155 437 0209 155 437 your numbers no enie na ensase yɛka wasɛm abusua wodi abra Kessben TV so yɛde ne nyinaa egu hɔ no mo bɛbɛ sɛdeɛ yɛn sas no esitiam na woduru ɛyɛ Tripoli baabi a yɛn sas no wona me se ɛwɔ Greater Accra region ya emu no sɛ wokɔ no ma ɛwɔ Tema ɛne Dowenya kwan no so wotra Tema kakra bi na sɛ woduru Dowenya ɛnkyɛ just 5 minutes pɛ na woduru no mefiri sɛ woduru Dowenya hɔ no mo ɛna Central University ɛwɔ nso ana Saglema Affordable Housing ɛtaka wasɛm ɛwɔ nso so ɛwɔ wodi free Saglema ɛkɔ baabi a yɛkan no ɛyɛ just 5 minutes drive pɛ na waduru no mo na me nua so koduru asase nso a wani bɛgye o asase ne da so flat ɛwɔ no te sɛ park so ɛwɔ no te sɛ ɛsrɛ so ɛne da ensuom ana ɛne da techem ɛne da bepɔ ayase ana engu bepɔ nso atifi no aka sɛ ebi ensuo to ebeyira faw ana ensuo to te ade atete ɛbɛbɔ afie ana bi amframa jampanturu bi fa bɛka sɛ ɛbɛpa wo da so da bi yɛ de ɛnte saa ɛyɛ flat land ɛno ntina de bia me ba me ka kyerɛ sɛ wobi bɛhu inani agye sɛ nipa no wɔ aburokyire wɔbɛyɛ sɛ de nsase nsitiam no akɔ lands commission ɛkɔyɛ ne checks a wodo hu sampa asase na yɛ papa no wato 32 plots amene wo kasa no wo si ɛyɛ sports complex kɛseɛ ɛwɔ hɔ no mu wɔde ba bɛti players sɛdeɛ bɛyɛ a daakye nkɔma yɛn nso yɛbɛnya players papa ɛwɔ Ghana ha no mu ɛsɛm yɛne yɛn nsase ana meka no maka bio sɛ asogyafoɔ mpo ɛnyɛ gyidie ɛne awerɛhyɛmu adi akyi aba bɛtɔ bi ɛntimi ne wo nso ɛdeɛ na woyɛ adwuma bi a woyɛ ɛne baabi a wɔ baabi a ofiri bia no yɛdeɛ yɛbi yɛkwam ɛde atoɔ deɛ ma sɛ wɔn nso wo qualify wɔn nso wo sɛ na fata sɛ wotumi ɛtɔ bi ɛno ntitiae me self plot no ɛyɛ 16,000 cedis 16,000 cedis ɛno ane yɛ self plot no 16,000 no di kan fa mu 4,000 cedis ɛbɛto aseɛ na so de 4,000 ɛto aseɛ a yɛkɔto deɛ ma yɛ ma kwan wo bɛhyɛ sɛ yɛ so adwuma wogu so a woyɛ adwuma no 12,000 a ɛbɛka no ɛno nso yɛde bosom akomako 12 yɛ so akeka bɔ ma ɛyɛ 1 year mu a ana half plot deɛ no yɛde so aspɛde ɛde ama bosom bia no ɛyɛ 1,000 cedis ana ade bɛbrɛ yɛn na 1 plot no deɛ no abusua ɛno nso ɛyɛ 32,000 cedis na 32,000 cedis no ɛno nso yɛse di kan fa 8,000 Ghana cedis 8,000 cedis ɛto aseɛ na wode to aseɛ a yɛde bɛkɔ asase no so yɛkɔto deɛ ɛde ama wo yɛma wo kwan sɛ hyɛ aseɛ siw dan no ɛwɔ so na 24,000 no a ɛbɛka no 24,000 abusua no nso so no yɛde 24 months yɛ so akeka mu a ɛyɛ 2 years mu a abusua ɛnyɛ atorɔsɛm ɛnyɛ bosɛm kasɛm ɛmu obi na adaw ɛyɛ 2 years na ɛdi so ni aspread ɛde ama wo na watua no bosomi bia 1,000 cedis 1,000 cedis kɔm sɛ ɛmene bɛdu no na watua awie ana me kan ebia wopɛ anwea wopɛ gravels wopɛ blocks ya de bɛsi dan na ɛno nso yɛsi yɛ mpɛ sɛ bɛtɔ asase no bɛtoɔ no na afei ɛda wo na ɛkyɛ ɛno nti ɛno sɛ wopɛ bi a yɛbi apom ɛde ama bra na ne yɛntena se ne yɛne wo ɛnyɛ nhyehyɛeɛ ɛno nso de kan fa kakra to aseɛ ne yɛmfa saa no ma nyina ɛma wo na ɛfa si wo dan na wogu so a wosie no na ɛno nso woatua de aka no kakra ɛde ama yɛn me nua ho ane bɛyɛ wɔ adi ama wo hwɛ wo kɔ asase nso a yɛkyɛ wanwea yɛbɛma wo nsuo de bɛsi wo dan free sɛ wo si dan free asase so akɔpem nyame ani nsuo de bɛsie no ɛyɛ free bonto wontua kaprɛ anaa dama ɛna asase no nso a meka kora no yɛdwe so kama ɛde akyɛw yɛmpɛ sɛ afei no akɔfa ɛyɛ obi ɛne greda no akɔsɛɛ so kora na afei wabɔ wo ka daabi yɛayɛ bibia kama de ama wo yɛayɛ demarcation yi bibia akwa nyina atontam yɛsi police station yɛsi market yɛsi shopping mall yɛsi school yɛsi event center adeɛ bi a bɛbɔ mu asetema yɛ mmerɛ no yɛyɛ ne nyinaa bi ɛwɔ hɔ yɛn nsase no nso ɛbɛnfie nipa tete wɔn mpo data ɛna afei nso no egu kwan ho ɛno nti mepa wo kyɛw bɔ mɔdianfoɔ ne kuro twa wisie yi ɛdi akyi na kɔhwɛ na wokɔba w'ani bɛgye sɛ wobɛtɔ no dodoɔ mu sɛdeɛ nnuanom bi wɔ aburokyire a wɔn mo ayɛ ne saa no ɛno ntɛm si yɛ office no ɛwɔ Spinters Road Community 18 Junction yɛne Allied filling station wɔ kwan no so ɛna di nhwɛ anim yɛsan bɛn KFC baabi a motɔn aduane no ɛno nti bɛ yɛ sɔre so akɔ minia gye numbers ne bio adeɛ biada obeso bisa ɛwɔ Imascon Estate Ghana Limited yɛn nkyɛn ɛwɔ yɛn nsase papa yɛbɔ wo dawuro susu for land promotion se fa bɛhyɛm no ɔmɔde abisa na wo nso ɛbɛyɛ efiewura prekopɛ yɛn number no enie ɛyɛ 0553 840 646 0553 840 646 and 0553 838 730 0553 838 730 and 0209 155 437 0209 155 437 Imascon Estate Ghana Limited Susu for land promotion ɛyɛ papa fa wo hyɛm nanso atimi ayɛ fiewura onyankopɔn wonhyira wo paa
Hello, 1, 2, 1.
Complaining that you are taking down some posters and all of that.
But is it proper for a poster to be at the polling center? Is it proper? Ask them, is it proper?
Okay, no, no, and minority leader so indeed, we are back to say, you have a share what is truly trending. Akwatia sisi amene ziga and wahanoma yeshe si ebetumiama also watia see from 2009 ABC same what the performance has always been Akwatia no and then the Kessben match pese ye mawunya what is really trending about Akwatia. Indeed, Akwatia has been one of the closest elections akoso back to back. We share a parliamentary in a face presidential as well. You could easily tell. Say numbers and any figures in Inano are very close. So it can go for anybody. Obia able to me we need a election. Very, very interesting. But Inano, we're going to look at the trends from 2009 down to 2024. Now, if you share what is going to happen 2025 as we speak, a year by election year, so when you look at the year 2009, first off, we want to look at the by-election in 2009. Looking at 2012, you're looking at presidential and parliamentary. We're going to look at 2016, both presidential and parliamentary. We'll look at the year 2020, so year and all that. But you must say 2024, right? Now, for the Akosro now for here the airco. So let's look at what really happened 2024 starting with the parliamentary elections on 2024 Akwatiano. In 2024 we had the MPP and then the NDC. Now the votes are what you see on your screen. Mamu Facebook on Kessben TV Mubehu and then Mamu team were 92.9 Now the MPP votes of course so year 2024 no MPP nya 17,948 as against the NDC 17,685 way presidential then Obama and presidential of Akwatia 2024 and then Obama so you could tell that check here MPP 17,948 and then the NDC 17,685. The difference was just about 263 votes per and another difference. So it tells you how close Akwatia when it comes to elections. Now quickly checking what happened in parliamentary. Akwatia 2024. We had the candidates there. That was Mayor Ernest Yaokumi of the MPP. Unya 19,269 representing 52.83%, whilst then candidate Henry Yadom Boache of the NDC enya 17,206 representing 47.17. The difference again was just amount of 2,063. This was what the issue or the results na Akwatia 2024 the elections their course this is what it was Tamana Sebi Yenia Bema honorable Ernest Yaokumi Etiaseno. These are the numbers and it's a kind 52.83% as against 47.17% of the candidate from the NDC Henry Yadomboachi, who is not even the one contesting now. So it tells you says you look on their contest is here na say omode lawyer bedu neba. Are they going to close the gap which is 2,063 and now say may increase a little over 1,000 to increase their vote and take off the MPP candidates now. Again, the strength of Yaokumi as against the strength of now Asumedu, would it really position or keep the numbers or upgrade the number of 19,269 or and 52.83% to another level. And now say better because then they have changed and this is changing omo candidates to another new person that they believe say or no any bet to me edge name ama omo ewo honomana. So this is 2024 their course so when it comes to parliamentary. Now when you check 2020 the Akwatia presidential results, what check here, the MPP Nana Akufo-Addo then had 21,758, representing 56.91%. And Ora John Dramani Mahama, now the president, the same Akwatia now onya 16,181, representing 42.32%. Now, the difference there again when it comes to presidential was 9,577. So it tells you say gaps in no enye too wide enye ade emu eti baby esan say hono back and forth one year look here and as one year stronger ohun ebe chill kakra. But all the ones that we've shown you from 2024 down to 2020 tells you how the good performance of the MPP has been Akwatia hono. Then when you check the parliamentary results from the constituencies, now, their previous candidate, that was Henry Yadomboache of the NDC, had 19,899, representing 51.50%. That was in 2020. And then the same NS Yakumi in 2020 had 18,742, representing 48.50%. Now, check the difference again. The difference is very slim. 1,157 was the difference between these two candidates. So clearly, like I told you, we check Akwatia Padia from year 2024 down to 2020. It tells you how close these political parties behave. Akwatia. Now, 2024 parliamentary results for Akwatia. We check Biwa. Ernest Yaokumi of the MPP had 19,269, representing 52.83%. And then Henry Yadomboache, then the parliamentary candidate, had 17,206, representing 47.17. Then it gives you the difference between these two candidates now. And I said these two political parties now. A year 2063. It tells you say and Shada and Subiasa, like I keep saying, the chances are very, very slim. Even when you check parliamentary results, it gives you the same figures from there, where the difference is almost about 1,157. And then Eskumi then had 18,742. That was in 2020 still results, And then NDC had the 19,899. Now the question arises whether it is the candidates that are the problem, and I said just the political parties. We share analysis in the course now. You're looking at the demographic of the area. Religion, county na the areas na in terms of mining areas even baby candidates ni fino Akwatia no also count na say nipa ni fi bronu bi a ohono omodoso na say electoral areas ni doso does it give them that advantage? So clearly taking off Henry Yadomboache from the NDC tells you that maybe they have seen that some Henry fi honoma consistency with him might not work, so then they have to bring someone else to compete. Since Ernest Kumi is also not there, Ebiana numbers, change amomo, and now say how is it going to go? So this is the 2020 parliamentary results are a PMU Akwatia. Now look at 2012. Very interesting. Now, OSHA parliamentary results from 2012, sorry. That was when Honorable Baba Jamal Ebaye, as in Baba Jamal Ebedi Eso Honum. Now, check the vote. 20,308, representing 50.7%. Then you had Honorable Dr. Kofi Asare from the MPP, taking up 19,737, representing 49.29%. Now check the difference. Very interesting. This is one of the slimmest difference I've ever seen. Now the difference now 571 ena eye owura Baba Jamal edi wini. So again, it comes back to the same situation that I was talking about. Is it the fact that candidates, representing the political parties, and the game changers and answer party nankasa within the region? Because then we share previous ones now, they share one now. Owura Kumi and then Henry Diana. You saw the difference. Now Baba Jamal, a very strong figure in the NDC, now contested and won, but with a slim margin of 571. So it tells you, say, Akwatia nankasa there, it can go for anybody at all within the space. Now, we check 2016, the same Akwatia parliamentary results. Then they had Baba Jamal coming in again, and then the MPP changed their candidate, and then they brought us Edu Jemfi Mercy. Amase. Now, Amase look at the magic that went on. MPP had 21,433, representing 57.21%. Baba Jamal, who was repeated by the NDC, had 15,905, representing 42.45%. What was the case? Again, look at the change of the candidates. Consistency was for the NDC, and then they lost it. MPP changed their parliamentary candidate, and then they won. Now look at the difference. A certain huge number, but it's not huge. 5,528 was the vote difference when it comes to Amase and Baba Jamal in 2016. So it means that Baba Jamal won, and then when we had election again, Olusuye, was it about the issue said Sebi and Nema Sefata says so you were Akwatia no 1 year, and now so said they felt said Amase has something else to offer them, and then they took Baba Jamal off. This particular Akwatia area, I think that they really position well. When you don't be you, we are there some on more stay. They don't really care whether you're MPP or NDC. They don't believe in that consistency. Per all the analysis that we've done here, but even if you check presidential results in 2016, Nana Akufo-Addo around that time had 21,436, representing 55.46%. And then you had John Dramani Mahama, now the president, having 16,925, representing 43.78%. The difference again was 4,501 or 4,511. Okay, now Baba Jamal Modiana, what it tells you, they said when they vote for you to become the MP, automatically presidential, they will give it to you. They will not do skirt and blouse with presidential, and then they will give you the MP like that. They will go on that tangent. Yeah, the presidential number, obviously you will get the parliamentary. So then Baba Jamal lost it in 2016 to Amase, and then that same period Amase also delivered very well for Nana Akufo-Addo, and then still Mahama lost Akwatia. So it tells you that clearly a very, very, very straight when they come to it. When they take a decision, they don't change it. So this was the 2016 one. So then it tells you clearly what is going to happen in 2025. See, I mean, say we've had a campaign going on. You have to say this for catcher and say, oh, what is really happening in there? Akwatia for someone per lawyer. So we have delivered. We have given them a lawyer. Others are also saying, no, I mean, you should have repeated Owura Henry. But, I mean, hey, this is a parliament, this is a party that says that the person had the mano and the amano. But there's an interesting thing that is happening on grounds with the MPP. Meaning, there's an issue happening on grounds. This is what is happening. Now, yet it is said, the NPP is saying, Owura Sumadu, Kamana Owura Henry, Yaukumi Ewo Honomono. All standing no, na all koba no koba nyina no. One support no. This is what is happening on grounds. So, and then I will ban it there, open say a best support to one. This is dangerous for the NPP. So, clearly, it tells you, omuwo enemedu omumwa omofo say ankoye yan solve omo dia, they're going to have issues with that. The other issue has to do with brono na omumienu nyina omufiba no. What checki baby ana yakumi fiba na ebi esumedu fiba na. It also say the medical kai e catch us say if you eye baby omu fiba no so maybe ana numbers no so and then some also will tell you say say yen and say yedi enye we bronu we necessary ba. So they are also looking at bronu na nipa no say bi ofiba na no so akoye problem. The other one has to do with say you see esumedu enye charisma onya oni charisma. Ojahona so kasa uhu se bemenie Ojahona so kasa na sem no oka no ensisi so entino they don't see that charisma in him entino akwakoye problem ama grassroots for no. That is also another problem. I don't know whether the NPP took a critical look at that particular analysis na grassroots for no yene dia, because if indeed munipa no any charisma dia, then they have issue to deal with. And for that matter, eba be bibia wo ho. And you know, akwako bibia wo ho ema. The last one that we have heard, our essbenMaakye, according to what is happening on grounds, is that when it comes to education and co-ending sa, and you know, they have problem. Say, ye probia wako school, and indeed I told you that the NDC from Jibril, Madi Jibril, had told us earlier on subsequent interviews that we've done that Akwatia for say omo pe lawyer a obedi omenim na watumi akokun ekun bia mo benya other things in the constituency. Now the NPP is bringing us somebody who is not much educated, and how do you expect them to also go out there and win these numbers for them or these projects that they are looking for? Again, they are also looking at Esumedu ne occupation now or you know. Very interesting. Yenim say Esumedu mining. I'm not here to say it's illegal, but registered mining and a miner. But grassroots is also looking at ejuma na or you know. Any ehun sama abeba bebre na no with this issue of galamseys and all those things. They are looking at how the youth will be taken care of within the space. Are they all going to mining? And if it is mining, how the situation will be, and also a problem. So these are some of the things baby now are listed the issues that they've raised when it comes to the MPP candidates now or what's to see. But notwithstanding all this, it's clear that today you have started abandoned to 9:41. You go so to abano. Let's see what really happens. Ziga, mami ti ona fe yen faji bedi ni say.
Yes, boss, mami touching it quickly. Talking about candidates. On say change candidate. So say MPP, NDC to with this candidate now. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised. The DKI say so we share National Democratic Congress from 1992 ABC 2024, the last election, the first and the last election that we had. It is only two personalities, and I say two candidates, and it's me repetition. Yet me repeat two Henry Yadom. Henry Yadom was repeated on the call 2020, and at 2024 he was repeated. So, who you are the second year Baba Jama, the first year Baba Jama. Baba Jama contested 4 times. So, Baba Jama contested 4 times. So, Baba Jama contested 4 times. But we share margins near Yeka Wasemna. With the exception of Alhaji Muhammad Ezra in 1996, would be a gap of 9,000, little over 9,000. Obi any be that our constituency. The American watcher say. Then you watch Amase in 2016. Obo Baba Jama with a difference little over 5,000. She had that number till you. She had that number because Baba Jama contested for 4 consecutive times. And today, if I said no one from Kofo, and we all know what happened in 2016 elections when NDC lost 1 million votes, more than 1 million votes. You get me? So I don't reflect on the constituency and the where Amase was also coming from. You understand? Made him and the man to side difference 5,000. And talking about the 1996, where Alhaji Mohammed Ezwa had the 9,000. It also when President Rawlings was given an encore to lead this country. We should the number President Rawlings in China and also reflected. But we should two a year elections year 2016 and 1996 now. Election be in the piano. Margin is slim. Margin is slim. So as this one, you not need to blame Ura, your father say Henry Yado. For say, what Rahoma Erikumi, sorry, and the Skumi Babaje Akunyano. Sorry, Bichi, you couldn't be blame. So, second, maintain one kamepe, but meaning how popular this man is. How popular your father say Bernard Bediako eye. They make a watch say, but maintaining a key. And the two political parties now have a problem with their your father say candidates. This Asumadu guy that you are talking about.
Yes.
We are told to say one support Kumi.
Yes.
Because he had a problem with Kumi. As to say Kumi call for me make sure say on your campaign the man. I'm gonna maintain the seat no. And only one. Now this what we know what to say a candidate what babeji seat tirio what babeji seat eje free ama sensem ensem na ye ko 2024 no lusu no free so betimi asaji seat ni ba because he has won it before na ye ko sesa no de another candidate aba na how it was done na ne buafu no you compare the magnitude of that issue now they are compare NPP that issue no way no ahwe where a betimi ako. All things being equal, no, you see, by election here, one of the elections is very difficult to predict. Not even hairdressers. Election.
It's true.
You understand?
It's true.
So while we are back as a baby, you know, na yakobu obini yakoshie adiere de agum. Na akwasesa way. So we should wait. Set 5 Nyabo. Nyabo na by 7 o'clock. You need declare new who say we are by Jamia. We have a lot to talk about.
Definitely. Now, if you have shared differences in
you have differences.
Whether our shrinking and answer the Omoka grounds when it comes to Sumo Duno really worked and answer Juma.
Yes.
They still went in for what is really happening.
Because from 92 BCE, NDC used to 6 candidates. NNPP so used to 6 candidates. You understand? Bia used to 6 candidates. Say who the 92 ne kahwa. NDC is ahead with the 5 against 4. 4 against 5. But say we 92 which NPP boycotted parliament no. Now it's abaya 4-4. So we start from 96. It means that Obia winning 4-4. So the Michi. Obia winning 4-4. We are looking forward to say NPP take you away out to be 5-5. Say NPP and take you away say that means that Omoba widen gap with the difference too. Akwatia. So you keep our fingers crossed and see.
Definitely.
Well, yes.
But as Ziga, so it's 9:47. Like I told you, around 5 p.m. we are back again to set. Now, I share results in the through Nina. No, now all the figures in the analysis are also on grounds in Nina. We are told that there are certain things happening on grounds. You perform confirmation. FEA reporters, before we can come on air to come and tell you exactly what is really happening from a certain group of people. Be I to say in Sembi Koso our grounds. But whichever way it is, you be Joe ama Medford action. Say Joe and I feel team. Then we are back again at 5 to really give you up to date what is really transparent. Akwatia. And I will end the show here. essbenMaakye. Our Kessben TV and Facebook 92.9 on Kessben TV on Facebook. And then 92.9 Middle BBRC production team led by Richard Apiasapon, who is coming back at 5 p.m. to sit and do all the analysis. Fifi Medase and I'm Daniel. And then Delali, that I see baby, I've seen her. I said, no, headmistress, no, so Kobasa or Checky Boys. Also, now I'm technical on duty. Amos in our face, Rekwana say, but I'm winning as a honey over to Sergio and the sports team from now to 2 p.m. I'm going to be a bro. A man still for Kojo Preko Dankwah. I will come back again this evening. May you come on. But I say, good morning, have a lovely day, and I love you.